Hello everyone, I'm Xinye Yao, and my section is a biogeochemical circle in terms of the water cycle of the wetland. So let's go ahead and get started. At first, we will talk about some information about what is the water cycle of the wetland. Which we know the water cycle of the wetland will be divided into the precipitation, redistribution of the wetland plant, the forming process of the wetland runoff, and the evaporation process of the wetland. So we would find that there is a complex water cycle of the wetland between the precipitation, surface water, and underground water. Now, we will understand the water cycle of the wetland from three aspects. The first one is the wetland precipitation and the evapotranspiration. For the precipitation, which includes the rainfall and snowfall. There is no doubt that rainfall and snowfall is the main input water resource of the wetland, which can keep the balance of the wetland water cycle. Besides, the seasonal distribution of the precipitation has directly impact on the function and structure of the wetland. Another aspect of the evapotranspiration, it is the opposite process of the precipitation, which includes the evaporation of the water resource and the transpiration of the plant. The second one is the surface runoff and the infiltration of the wetland. And here, we try to answer this question. What's the effect of the local climate for the surface runoff and infiltration? Surface runoff is the most important process of the wetland water cycle, which is the main output of the water balance of the wetland. The proportion the surface runoff is transferred by precipitation, which depend on the different elements, especially climate factors. At the cool and humid area like the northwest of the Pacific and the west of the Columbia, or the northeast of the Canada, there are 60 to 80% precipitation that transfer into the surface runoff. We can see over there the red diagram. There are less than 10% precipitation transfer into surface runoff in the southwest of the America. Let's get into the next aspect, which is the underground water of the wetland. We can see the diagram over here. It shows the contamination process of the wetland, underground water of the wetland, which clearly reflect the relationship between the underground water and the wetland. We can see the contamination source discharge into the river and stream, which means they are participating the water cycle of the wetland. We should understand there is a very complex relationship between the wetland and the underground water. And underground water is the main water source of the wetland. The most famous example is the SGSPA system over here, which includes the surface water, groundwater, aquifer, soil, plant, and air. In those elements, soil is the core status of them because all the cycle activities should be finished through the soil. Finally, I want to make the conclusion of my presentation through this diagram introduction, which is the effect of the water cycle on wetland function and the biotic feedbacks. The climate condition and terrain factor can directly affect the water cycle, the physical, chemical environment, and biota. During this process, these three elements affect each other and will change the input and output condition of the wetland and will change the water cycle of the wetland. Meanwhile, the physical chemical environment directly affects the diversity and the species combination and the production of the biota in wetland. In the opposite, the biota will reflect the physical chemical environment of the wetland, which will control the water cycle of the wetland. So here is my reference. Thanks for you guys to watching my presentation.